what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Mons, our Digimon Ghost Game recap podcast. My name is JD, and as always, I'm joined by Jeanette and Gary.
Hello.
Hey.
And this is going to be our first episode of 2022. So I hope everyone had a great holiday, great Christmas, New Year's, all that good stuff. Had a few Digimon episodes air over the holidays, so we're here to talk about that here. We're going to be talking about episodes 11. It's a Japanese word. I don't know. I think it's like Kamaitachi or something like that. Kamaitachi. I think that's how you pronounce it. That and episode 12, Chain Letter. So we'll go ahead and start with episode 11 here. So this one is dealing with a weird wind that is blowing through town, damaging things, almost causing people harm because of falling objects. And so while this is going on, it seems like Ruli and Angoramon are having a bit of a tiff because Ruli does not think that Angoramon is being completely forthcoming with her about like where he goes at night and what he does when he's not around. And we kind of figure out like what he's been up to lately. So I guess we'll just get our initial impressions. How did you guys feel about this one?
Underwhelmed. I didn't really jive with me.
Yeah, it's a little slow and not in a good pacing kind of way to build up anticipation because we kind of already see what the monster is at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And the mystery surrounding Angoramon didn't seem to be that mysterious either.
See, I think the Digimon, at least the new Digimon, just can't do these realistic conflicts between the Digimon and the human. Like, for example, it reminded me of the Biomon episode on the island with the beaver and all that. And it felt really forced, and I thought it kind of basically parallel to that episode. It just felt really forced and not really in character for either of them.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same camp with you guys. I didn't hate this episode, but it's definitely not one of the strongest that they've had so far. I even thought that once we get to know the bad guy, which is a Digimon called Repamon, it was like this weird like kitsune kind of masked fox thing, but it has a giant like blade tail that has a mind of its own, I guess, but they're attached. And just like Repamon's like, oh, I don't want to hurt anybody, but its tail is like, I want to prove I'm the sharpest blade in the land, therefore I must murder people. It's such a weird, stupid thing, and watching this thing fight its own tail was really weird.
It's based on a yokai, and that's what the episode name title is. It's literally the name of the yokai. That's why they didn't translate it.
Interesting. Yeah, I was wondering why this one wasn't translated, but that makes sense then.
Yeah, it's a little yokai that deals with wind. Literally, it's the same situation as in the episode. It's just like really sharp wind that damages stuff. Especially back in the olden day where everything's made of paper.
Right. But then I'm also in the same boat where it's like I don't think the whole Ruli and Angoramon having a whole having a fit this whole episode really mattered that much, because in the end it just turns out that Angoramon is meeting up with other Digimon that have entered the real world to swap information, but like, oh no, the Digimon coming in like said, oh, we can't tell humans about this meeting, so that's why Angoramon can't tell Ruli about anything. But in the end he ends up telling her anyway, just to like, I'm not being a dick or anything. It's just like, I couldn't tell you. And she's like, okay, that's fine. Maybe we both need to communicate better. And that's the moral of the episode, basically.
Yeah. I like the concept. It's just the execution. Like the concept of that little group mind of regular non-mischievous Digimon hanging out in a little secret club.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
Not done.
Yeah, and I definitely hope it's something they expand upon later.
I was actually expecting to see them show up in the next episode. I mean, we'll get to it next episode.
Yeah, I was too. They don't really expand upon it yet. I'm hoping they do soon.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, can we get this? And I think it'll start to happen in next episode. But I'm like, can we start to move the story forward a little?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that. I haven't been enjoying these little one-off silly adventure things, but like, we got to get the plot moving at some point. And like, I liked when they introduced Pokemon because he knows about the digital world and he's been kind of explained to, and like he's been popping up a lot to give them advice and theorize with them.
Mhm.
So
But
we're just getting little peppers of information, but like not enough to like move the story along it significantly.
yeah, it's moving very slow right now. And like there's a little bit, and I think there's just gonna, and I still think next episode, it'll be either next episode because it's episode 13, so kind of like season finale, or episode 26 where shit hits the fan. And the question is, that's my theory anyway.
Yeah, because I'm gonna guess that if it's anything like any other Digimon series, it's gonna run for about 50 something episodes. My guess is probably about 52. So we're still really early, but like most of the other shows at least have somewhat of a through plot moving by now. So if we can start to get things going in the next couple of episodes, that'd be great.
Jeremy Snow here, owner and editor-in-chief of the Geekly Grind. I'm interrupting your awesome, regularly scheduled programming to ensure that you know about our Geekly Grind podcast network, of which this show is a treasured member of. If you haven't had a chance to check out our site, you can do so at www.thegeeklygrind.com, and while you're there, check out the other members of our steadily growing podcast family, including the anime-centric Blake and Spencer Get Jumped, discovering new heroes and comic book keepers with Chris and Lance, exploring the vast universe of geekdom with Geeksploration, or of course appreciating animation's finer details with the Ink and Paint Club. Escape your weekly grind at the Geekly Grind.
So yeah, we're gonna move into episode 12, Chain Letter, which this is only funny to me because literally like 3 days ago I got sucked into this rabbit hole of YouTube videos about like 90s computer viruses, which were literally chain letters. So the fact that I'm watching this episode now it's kind of funny and coincidental. But yeah, so this episode centers around a mysterious chain letter being emailed to everybody. The kicker is when if you try to delete this email, then it immediately forwards it to everyone in your contacts list, the further spreading the virus. But instead of giving your computer a virus, what it does is it materializes these tiny little green Vegemon looking dudes, and they come out of your phone or your computer or what have you, start attacking you, start biting you all over because they're apparently looking for water, which they used to grow in size and all that good stuff.
And they're legitimately terrifying in like a Tribble sort of way.
Yeah, they're like tribbles or gremlins or some shit. They're just like they keep multiplying because everyone keeps trying to delete the email that they spawn through.
And it gets both viral and national news coverage. Like they scroll through YouTube, it's like, oh no, like hologram goes through chain letter, and also the TV news is warning people about it.
I did get a kick out of the first person you see with the chain letter because he's just like, man, these are really popular back when I was a child, but I can't go around spreading misinformation.
Okay, I have to say, one thing I noticed in this episode, and noticed it a little bit in the last episode, is the background characters, or like the people who are in the show and don't do very much, they're starting to look like Pokemon characters. Not that that's a bad thing or anything, but they're literally looking like Pokemon characters.
I'd have to look at it more. But I did notice that a lot of the background characters are starting to be a little more stylized, like the main characters are.
Yeah.
Which I mean is I guess is a nice thing.
Speaking of side character, I was hoping since when Ruli was hanging out with her friends, and this started to happen to her phone and everybody else in the cafe, I was hoping that her friend would have more things to do because she really was chasing one of the bigger monster through the street, following the invisible Angoromon, which her friends, of course, can't see. I just wish they would have built up more on that. It's like, where are you going? Or have really like tell Angoramon what move to use, and they would see, oh, the virus monster, I forgot the name of, sorry, would actually get hit or get flown somewhere, but it's to her normal friend, it would just look like, oh, Rui has some magical power where she can say something and those things would react.
See, it's the rule of Toei anime. The first 12 to 13 episodes, it's just the main character. And then if they're going to add any other characters, it's after that.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to be adding any more characters to the main three, but I imagine it's probably not going to happen for a while.
Yeah, and well, with how there's actual eyewitness and video recording of everything, I really hope that in the next episode there will be people talking about it, and it'll be sort of scandalous, but also people having theory of what they are. Is it conspiracy? Is it the holographic company doing experiments or what have you?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
See, I'm kind of hoping that maybe at some point we find out that there's other people with Digimon too. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Even if they're not specifically have the Digivice wristband, they just made friends with them. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Gary, I'm kind of with you. Because we've never seen Digimon being so visible to humans on such a scale before in this series. So now that the whole world is seeing these monsters, they may not know what they are exactly, but at least a lot of people have now seen them. But yeah, I don't know about you guys. I was pretty meh about this episode, but then the ending really, unless it amounts to something later on, really felt really felt flat for me.
With this I really like this episode up until the ending, and then I just kind of felt like a slap on the face, and I was like, what?
Yeah, because it's you think these Vegemon are just like a plague or something, but literally at the very last second of this episode, an older Vegemon dude comes out and oh yeah, sorry, these are all my clones. I got here and I was lonely, so I made a clone of myself to talk to, but then he escaped and started making more clones. My bad. I'm gonna take these guys. But then right at the last second, he turns back and is like, no, I would never want to hurt you guys, and gives them this really evil looking stare or whatever, and then leaves. So
he'll be back.
He'll be back.
He's the next Clockmon.
Yeah. The only really big thing we got out of this episode is we finally got to see Gamamon's third evolution. So now we've got I think it's pronounced Vazen Gamamon. He's a green Tyrannosaurus with railguns for horns.
And he goes pew pew.
He does go pew pew.
Oh, bang bang! It's not laser. It's literally gunfire.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about this one? Because I'm kind of torn.
I like the first half. Oh, sorry. You go.
Yeah, agreed. I really like the first half, especially. And there's a lot of little touches, like Jellymon freaking out and Hero phone getting destroyed because Gamamon thinks it's evil, and there's a lot of little touches. And I thought just the little Vegemon just coming out and biting everything. I don't know.
I love the part how that whole dorm blames Kiyoshiro.
And then he has to save his reputation.
Yeah, he actually has a brave moment, and it's literally just because he doesn't want people to hate him anymore. Everyone's like, yeah, totally. He's like, this would totally be a thing he does. We should blame him.
Yeah. I will say, him and Jellymon, they're just little shits, and they're perfect for each other.
I love them. They're the best part.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think about Gamamon's new evolution?
I actually like the evolution sequence a lot, and I thought it was kind of cool how it built up. As for the evolution, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I've seen it before. It's not that creative idea for Digimon. Not that Digimon is creative, because remember, Paint Shop Baku, but the Pink Shot Ghost with the Halloween hat on it.
Yeah.
But I do like this more than the Chaos Gamamon?
The blue one?
Yeah, the blue one, because the blue one feels like a recolor of Beetle Gamamon. Right. This one actually looks different.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. It's on all fours and it's got big old guns. I guess what it reminds me of is this particular Warhammer monster. like I don't know. It's basically something the lizards use, and it's like a big old like Ankylosaurus with this big gun on it. That's what I was thinking of. That it reminded me of, and I finally remembered it.
Gotcha.
The silhouette is distinct. That's the word I was looking
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really kind of torn on him because, like, I like Beetle Gamamon. He's basically the ex Vmon to Gamamon's Vmon. Kaus is really weird. I like its concept, but like he's weird. But when you put Vazen next to them, it's really like I'd rather all three of them be different enough rather than like two of them be like, okay, they're bipedal lizard men, and then this third one is an on all fours dinosaur.
Yeah, that's actually something that kind of bugs me for the new Digimon for this season. Is their evolution lines look very similar to each other, and that's kind of boring.
Yeah, like I don't know, like we've had. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that we've had a lot of the partner Digimon. They like when you put them next to each other, they look thematically this like similar enough that you can tell that they're from the same line. Of course, we have like the Greymon line where literally Metal Greymon is just regular Greymon with metal parts on him.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I get what you mean because like so far we've seen Gamamon and Jellymon's evolution, and like Tesla Jellymon is just like a taller Jellymon with more accessories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we've also seen Enoramon's in like the opening theme, and he basically loses a lot of weight.
Yeah, I think he like just loses a bunch of weight and becomes a kickboxer with pants. He pulls a Gargomon.
He gains pants. That's his superpower.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't, for Kaos Gamamon, I'm surprised that they didn't go with a pterodactyl-like thing. Because it's dinosaur and more dinosaur theme.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be very obvious.
Yeah, if they actually like gone in a more like pterodactyl route, I think I would like probably Vazen a little more because at least he's not like the weird one out among the three evolutions. And then we have like the black evolution we haven't even seen, who is basically just our Beetle Gamamon black
with a longer scarf cape.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So
he continues the bipedal lizard man look. So Vazen just seems really odd by comparison.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this one was okay. It was fine. I feel like that was kind of these two episodes were for this week were kind of just like, eh.
I was actually sorry.
So go ahead.
I was thinking that this would be a two-parter before the older Vegemon came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I was completely expecting that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like maybe other Digimon, like from that little secret club and Goemon secret club, or other Digimon that they like helped along the way would come in because they like the human world.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was totally expecting more, and then it just kind of ends. Right. And I don't think I really looked at this teaser for the next episode. I was just like, oh, I'm just mad now.
Yeah, I'm well, I mean, not everyone can be a winner, I guess, is what I could take away from this.
I mean, if we didn't have losers, we wouldn't have winners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very much that 90s episodic format right now where it's like story of the week.
Right. So. Yep. So hopefully we're building to something, and hopefully this gets moving soon. But yeah, nothing too spectacular this week. But who knows? Maybe next week we'll have better things to say. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, I'm good. How about you, Jeanette?
I'm good.
All right. Okay, everybody. Well, that will do it for this week. Thank you all for listening. Again, I hope you had a great holiday and that 2022 is going to be looking brighter for everybody. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Yep. Thank you for listening. Stay safe out there, and we will catch you again next time.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.